Jesus gave two Mount of Olive prophecies. First, the first one was that the temple would not be rebuilt in Jerusalem until the Messiah himself returns to build it. Now, you've been taught, most likely, that the temple, the third temple, will be rebuilt and the Antichrist will sit in it. This is a wrong conclusion, and it's based on some other errors that people have made. And this is my idea why it's wrong. So it's not a salvation issue, and you may struggle with this, but just take it for what it is, and it's a different point of view. So in Matthew 24:2, Jesus said unto them, See ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. He was talking about the temple. This happened after the siege by the Romans on Jerusalem in 66.5 AD until 70 AD, those 3.5 years. They finally broke through and destroyed the temple. Gold had melted on the inside of the walls of the temple, and so they took mules and horses and turned over every stone, trying to get the gold that had melted and seeped in the cracks. And that was what happened. So, also Jesus said that the last generation will experience the tribulation. He said this in Matthew 24:32 through 34. He says, Now learn a parable of the fig tree. When his branch is yet tender and put forth leaves, you know that summer is close. So likewise you, when you shall see all these things, know that it is near, even at the doors. Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all these things be fulfilled. He's talking about the tribulation period, a short, intense period. I have my own theories on it. I don't believe it's 7 years. I believe it's 3.5 years. There's a reason why I believe that, but that's a topic for another day. So these are the two prophecies that Jesus gave on the Mount of Olives. And I want you to be aware of those that he gave others, but these are the two I'm highlighting today. So, have you ever considered that the Roman Emperor Julian, who ruled 360 to 360 AD, he was the last of the non-Christian rulers of the Roman Empire. He was from the line of Constantine. He was, in fact, a nephew of Constantine. And he was a military and a Neoplatonic philosopher, a military general. He ruled the Roman Empire. He wanted to restore the old Roman ways, the pagan ways, and he was called by the Christians Julian the Apostate because he did not become a Christian like his great uncle Constantine the Great. And he attempted to prove that Jesus' Matthew 24 prophecy was false. And how he attempted to prove this was by rebuilding the temple in Jerusalem in 363 AD. Most end-time scholars don't acknowledge this event, but Julian tried to rebuild the temple. But Jesus had said, not one stone will be left upon another. And so what happened when he did this? Well, let's go to the details, the historical details. There was a man named Marcellinus. He wrote about the restoration effort of the Jewish temple. He was a friend of Julian, and so he was going to write the history of it. And these are the words that he wrote. He said, Julian thought to rebuild at extravagant expense the proud temple once again at Jerusalem. He committed this task, and this is the engineer, Alypius of Antioch. Alypius set vigorously to work. He was assisted by the governor of the province. Then fearful balls of fire broke out near the foundations of the old temple and continued their attacks till the workmen, after repeated scorchings, could no more approach the old temple, and he gave up the attempt to rebuild it. That's what happened, folks. That's a historical reality. He tried to rebuild it. Fireballs. A fire broke out near the foundation. Who knows why? Also, there was an earthquake exactly at this time in Jerusalem at the same time. Did the earthquake release volcanic gas? We don't know. But this is what happened, and the temple was not rebuilt. So why do people think that there's going to be a rebuilt temple in the end time? Well, I'm going to talk about that near the end of this lesson, so you need to stay tuned. So here's the other prophecy. How long is a generation? Jesus said that that generation would survive, would be there during this end time tribulation, and we find the answer in Psalm 90, verse 10. And it says in the King James generation, but this is what it says in the ISV. We live for 70 years or 80 years if we're healthy. Yet even in the prime years there are troubles or tribulation and sorrow. They pass by quickly and we fly away. This is the length of a generation, 70 to 80 years. 80 if it's a healthy church. And then, of course, the church flies away. So If the church, if the end time generation began, like I said, in 1947, that's just a theory. I'm not saying it's a fact. I have the right to change my mind if I get new information. That would be November 29th, 1947, plus 70 years, would bring us to the year 2017. That is when that generation would fly away, or 80 years, 1947 plus 80 years would be 2027. What we do know is this, that the flyaway time is between 2017 to 2027. It's very likely that it's going to be somewhere in the middle, maybe closer to 2020, 2021. Just some ideas, not saying it's a fact. Don't want to be an end time date setter because no man knows the day nor the hour. I'm just speculating here, looking at Scripture and what it might mean. I hope you find it interesting.